Hey guys, it's Annie Margarita Yang back with another video for you today. Today I want to talk to you guys about having no aim versus being lost. So last week I was on a podcast interview and the host was asking me about my life story, and I was telling him about how right after I graduated high school I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life, so I worked a whole string of minimum wage jobs until I did go to community college at 20 years old. And then I came out at 22 with a bachelor's degree in communications, and I was working at Domino's Pizza, so it wasn't what I thought it would be. It's not that golden ticket that everyone tells you a college degree is and that it's going to elevate your career. It's not, right? Really, what elevates your career is you. But he was saying, oh, it looks like you were aimless in your 20s, like you spent several years in your 20s, like just totally aimless. And I had to correct him and say, no, there's a difference between being lost in life versus having no aim. So it's possible for someone to be lost but still have aim. So I was telling him, so even though by all accounts, when people looked at my life from the outside, from their perspective, and they see that I'm just, working at the hardware store, I'm working at the grocery store, I'm slicing deli meats and cheeses and stuff like that, earning $8 an hour. Therefore, she must be heading the wrong way in her life. She must not have aim and no ambition or anything like that. But that's not the case, right? Like other people on the outside, they cannot truly see what is in someone's heart, what is in their mind, what in their mind are they envisioning for their life. So it is very possible for you to be lost and not know what you want to do with your life. You're just not sure what your passions are, what your calling is, right? It's your job, really. Your job, your number one job in your life first is to figure out what your calling is. And then after you figure that out, the next job is to answer the calling, right? But a lot of people, they just go straight into like the motions, the outside motions of doing things that by all accounts, when everyone looks at your life, oh, that person must be on the path to success. But little do you know, that person's just going through the motions. So basically, the way I see it is, I see, when I was 18, I see all these people, they're going off to college, they're going to Fordham University, NYU, Boston University, Northeastern, Harvard, Cornell, all of these like really prestigious and very expensive universities. And I'll be very honest with you, when I was looking at my classmates go off to universities and I was feeling FOMO, I was like, oh, they have so much aim in their life. They're working towards something. And I feel like I'm not working toward anything. I'm so lost. I don't know what I want to do. I don't know what my interests are. And at the time, all I wanted, like my aim, my sole aim was to figure out, what do I want to do with my life? If only I could answer that question. If only I could figure out, who am I? What do I like? What do I love? What brings me joy? If I could really hone in and understand this, then I can really go full force at the things that I want. But it just didn't make sense to like spin my wheels and go after things that like I don't know what I want, right? And what I've discovered is a lot of people, they go through the motions of what other people tell them is the right path. So when you're in high school, what other people tell you is the right path is to go to college. And even if you're undeclared, even if you don't know what you want to study yet, you can go to college not knowing what major you want to study, and you can just figure it all out there. But what happens when you do that, we go through the motions that other people tell you is considered having aim, is people change their majors 3 times. On average, people change at least once, but there are people who change up to 3 times, and they take not 4 years to graduate with a bachelor's degree, they take 6 years. 6 years. And half of the people who start college end up dropping out. Like they don't even finish a bachelor's degree in 6 years. They end up dropping out. And out of those half that do finish, half come out like underemployed, meaning they're working in a job that doesn't require a degree, or they're unemployed. And then 5 years after graduation, if they were in that category where they were underemployed, 5 years later, a good chunk of them are still underemployed, meaning they're still not working a job that requires their degree, right? So what is this, right? We have like a whole bunch of people in our society on all accounts, on the outside, they look like they have aim. But the fact is they don't. They don't. They're going through the motions, but they're actually aimless. So don't mistake that. If I could go back and talk to myself when I was 18 years old, I wish I heard this advice. I wish I had someone knowing this now to tell me, like, you're doing the right thing, Annie. Actually, you're lost, but you have aim because you're taking your time to figure out what your interests are. You're going to the library. You're reading a whole bunch of books to see if you can keep reading them, to see if you can hold that interest. You're going to different places on a bus in the United States. You're meeting new people. You're exposing yourself to people who aren't like you, to different perspectives in life, right? I wish someone could tell me that just because I was lost, it didn't necessarily mean that I lacked aim, because I had the aim to figure it out, right? So that's the difference between being lost versus having no aim. And I just want to share a story that like really cemented this in my mind, in my heart, which is 3 years ago. So I have this friend. 3 years ago, I woke up to the news that he was is it a mass shooter? It's only a mass shooter if you shoot more than 4 people, right? So I don't think he's a mass shooter. But so I woke up to the news that this person, by all accounts, he had aim. Everyone on the outside looking in, he had aim, right? Like he had just gotten married the year before, right? He's been with, that woman for a whole decade. They finally just got married. And then the next thing is they had bought a condo together the same year as well. And then he was set to graduate from his PhD program a month later. But what ended up happening is I just woke up to the news that like he was really hateful, right? Like he stole a box truck, jumped into the box truck, and then ran the truck into a house, right? And then he jumped out of the box truck with no shoes on, and then just proceeded to kill 2 Black people. And then this ended up becoming like viral and national news. It was on the New York Times and in the Boston Globe and everything. So by all accounts, on the outside, this is someone who looks like he has aim, but it doesn't really, right? Because he's going through the motions of looking like someone who's totally normal, but it's not. So don't necessarily like look at somebody from the outside and think, oh, they have a lot of aim, because you cannot read people's hearts. You don't know what people's real aim is. So even if you're in your early 20s and you're lost, don't take it that you don't have aim. Right? That's really what my message is for you today, right? So if you're 18 or in your early 20s and you're still trying to figure out your life and what you want to do, and maybe you were like me, you didn't go straight to college, everything is okay. It's okay to be lost, because really my personal belief is that your 20s is really, you're supposed to spend your time in your 20s to really figure out yourself, like what's important to you, because it's the first decade in your life when you really get to live independently and to really discover yourself, your values, your priorities, everything, right? And to expose yourself to different things as well. So that's it for you guys today. It's a short one today because I want to go to bed now. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Take care. Bye.